I think it would be safe to say our title defence hasn't got off to the best start. Yes, hello, welcome in to 11am Sports YouTube channel, here for the Killie boys on Football Manager 21. If you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button for more daily Football Manager content, 11am Monday to Friday. Last time out, we had a wee bit of a transfer special and showed you our game against Motherwell, which we did lose 2-1, unfortunately, and that poor form, continued into the next game, where we lost 2-0 to Rangers, and none of our players played well at all. You can see Hamilton and Egan Riley were the best players in the team with a 7 rating. We then moved on to the Betfred Cup second round against Dundee, who are down in the Championship, and again, we didn't really play that well, but we scraped a 1-0 win thanks to an early penalty from Jens Kastrup. And now, on the back of this really poor start to the competitive season for us, we have to play against Basel today, both legs, to try and get into the group stage of the Champions League. It's not going to be easy, even if we were playing well, and especially the fact that we're not playing well, it makes it even more difficult. Let's show you the team we're going to play for this game. So we're going to go with Robbie Much in goal, Hamilton, Hardley, Egan Riley, Kokavas as our 4 defenders. No surprises there. Decore keeps his place in the midfield alongside Jens Kastrup. Velasquez, you can see, is on the bench. He's nearly returned to fitness. He says he can play for an hour, so he'll probably come off the bench at some point. Tate just in front, Banila on the right. Bolly gets his place back on the left-hand side because we're going to play Lukic up front today. Alan Graham not playing well at all, and it looks like he could very much be a very, very big bust for us, which is not great when we spent a club record on him. But let's pretend he's actually okay, and we'll go with Lukic today though. See how he does up front. He's not played up front for us yet, so we'll see how he does it today. I mean, no pressure for your debut in the Champions League playoff qualifying round, against Basel. No pressure at all. So I'm hoping for a much better performance from the boys today, and just looking at the Basel lineup, you can see they're playing a flat 4-4-2, so hopefully we can overload them in the middle of the park a little bit. And they see the team stepping out into their huddles, and this game kicks off. Hopefully we can get off to a good start. This is the first highlight of the game, 50 minutes in. Banila swings it in, it's headed clear by Basel though. Kastrup collects, finds Kokavas, and Decore perhaps go down this right hand side. Well, he finds Egan Riley, and he continues down the right hand side into Banila. Banila back to Decore. Decore back out to Egan Riley, swings the ball into the back post. Charles Bolly hits it just wide of the goal. A good effort there. You can see we've totally dominated the ball and dominated the shot so far. Very impressive, but we could do with scoring a goal. Tate swings it into the back post, and it's cleared away, and Decore collects it and finds Tate out in this left hand side. What's he going to do? Tries to get past his man and field to Bolly, and why did we not start Bolly? After the season he had last year, we didn't play him in the first 2 games, and now we have played him. He scores a goal here against Basel on the biggest stage here in the Champions League. Tate gets the ball on the left-hand side, plays it into Bolly, and Bolly somewhat kicks off a defender, but it's a goal nonetheless. 1-0 Kilmarnock. But there's a highlight straight from the kickoff, and normally this means a goal for the opposition. Hopefully it's not the case today, but Kasami tries to get past Kokavas, plays it back to Fruler. That's a hard word to say. Janko into Vidmer, and Janko again, and perhaps it's going to be our chance if we can put some pressure on them here. Bolly trying to close down Janko, and Kokavas does intercept that ball, and Bolly into Kastrup and Tate, and Bolly again. And he's got Kokavas on the overlap of knees, but he comes inside instead, finds Kastrup, Banila, and to Lukic, and Lukic scores his first goal of the season, his first goal for Kilmarnock. 2-0 up now after 21 minutes. Bolly with the ball here, comes inside. He had the chance to go to Kokavas in the overlap, but instead he played it back. A nice cheeky pass to Kastrup. He finds Banila, and Lukic there with a lovely finish. Maybe he's going to be our striker. £2 million for him versus £30 million for Alan Graham, and Lukic is doing the business here. We've got another chance from this throw in. Egan Riley back to Decore, and perhaps it's into the middle. It is. Tate finds Egan Riley after the deflection into Banila, and Tate and Banila, and Lots of chances there, and the ball eventually is cleared away, but we still do have a chance possibly here. Kastrup finds Lukic and Bolly, and Lukic backs to Doucouré. What's going to happen? Kastrup, we've got a lot of men in the middle of the park, kind of overloading them here. Bolly with the ball now, finds Banila. Is Banila going to hit it? Oh, it's off the post. Oh, what a calamitous bit of defending that was there. We're still only up 2-0, but we are up 2-0. That's the important thing. And we get into half time here. We've had 64% possession. We've had 19 shots now. It just ticked over to versus Basel's 4. Totally dominate, but only 2-0 with such dominations. Maybe slightly worrying. I'll say I'm happy with the performance, but we could do with a couple more goals to take away to Basel. It would be much appreciated. This now is being played here, and Banila looks tired, so we'll bring on Richards on the right, and we'll bring off Doucouré as well because he's in a yellow, and bring on Velasquez to play some of the game. Remember, he had a wee bit of fitness, says he could play for an hour, so we'll give him half an hour today. And it's a highlight here again, the first of the second half. Egan Riley threw it in, but it was cleared away, but Kastrup finds Velasquez, and Kastrup finds Egan Riley again, and Velasquez, and they're passing the ball around nicely. Perhaps this ball could get swung in. Velasquez gets it here, out to Egan Riley again, and Velasquez maybe cross the ball over. It does eventually, and Tate just hits it off the post. And one last change they've made here, just brought Jordan Brown on at left back for Kokavas, but it looks like this second half has been fairly boring after the exciting first half we had. You see Basel kind of came back into the game a bit there. They had 7 shots compared to our 3 in the second half. But a nice 2-0 win all in all. A very good win for us there. I'm very happy with that. And hopefully we can take that positive result and that good form into the second leg. And perhaps more importantly as well, for the league anyway, into this Hearts game in between to try and stop having all the losses since we've lost our first 2 games and we're basically bottom of the table. I'll come back at the end of the Hearts game, let you know how we got on, and then we'll get on for this away leg to Basel. Well, I rotated the team a little bit and we lost 1-0 against Hearts, and this is not a good start to the league season and not a good start to the defence of our title. You can see now we are bottom of the league alongside Falkirk, who have just come up, and Wraith, who just got promoted to the team above us. This is not good, and I don't know what to do to change it. The only positive to take away is the fact we did beat Basel, so hopefully we can beat them again, or at least not lose by 2 goals, and then we'll get into the Champions League, and that should bring us some money. So a little transfer update, since we're still in the transfer window. We've got a few days left. Robbie Burton looks like he's probably going to be moving to Nottingham Forest. They've offered $6.5 million up front, and then another $4.5 million in fees, plus some money after 50 league appearances, and for the total of about $13.5 million for a player who's worth 7 and who's currently sat on my bench. I'm more than happy to say that, especially seeing as we signed him for free last season. He played 30 games, it was very good, but he ended up losing his place in the team to Velasquez. And now when you look at our squad, we've got players like Velasquez and Kastrup obviously starting, and Doucouré is doing very well as a kind of third choice in there as well. And Yao Francisco looks like he could be improving and perhaps becoming a midfielder as well. Needed to get rid of one of them. We've also got Andre Woods. I didn't even realise that. Still in on loan as well. So we needed to get rid of one of them. And happy to make, £13.5 million in total off of Robbie Burton. So here we go. Here is the team for the second leg against Basel. Disappointing result against Hearts in between these 2 games, but we did win 2-0 against Basel in the first leg. So the team is much: Hamilton, Hardley, Egan Riley, Kokavas, Velasquez, Kastrup and Tate, Banila, Bolly and look, it's just the same team that won 2-0 last time out. Still says Velasquez because he only played 75 minutes, but Doucouré or Woods will come on for him, I'm sure, at some point in the second half. Let's get into this game. Basel are playing a 4-4-2 again, so hopefully we can do just as we did the last time and take advantage of that in the middle of the park. First highlight of the game, and it's a throw-in from Basel, but we have intercepted it. Lukic gathers the ball. There's a lot of defenders around him and not a lot of his own team. He plays the ball back to Hardley, who plays it forward to Tate, and Lukic could do with perhaps giving himself some space there. He's right on the last man. Tate gets the ball here off of Kokavas through to Banila, and Banila just does not put it away. A good save from the goalkeeper. You can see, again, we've had a lot of the shots comparatively in this first half, similar to the way the last game started. And Banila gets the ball back from the corner here, and Egan Riley nearly, I thought that was a foul, but not quite, just gets tackled in the box. A corner kick to ours, Banila for the left-hand side in towards Hardley, and the ball's cleared away, and Arsa comes away. I'm going to say Arsa, No, not us. Sally with the ball, and our defender misses a challenge, and it's a good save from Robbie Much, and hardly clears the ball away. Well, just a couple of highlights in that first half, but I'm not going to complain. A 0-0 draw does get us through. I'm going to say I'm pleased with the performance so far, and we'll continue the game. You see, we've dominated in terms of shots and possession as well. Hopefully, we could get a little goal, which I would very much appreciate. The ball comes out to Egan Riley here on our right-hand side. He goes down the line, swings the ball in, it hits off the defender though. Bonilla gets it, plays it into Egan Riley, and Egan Riley into Tate, and back to Kastrup, and I think Tate tried to hit that, but he just missed it, and the Kastrup played the ball wide, and there's 20 minutes to go in this game. We'll make some changes in the middle of the park, I think, just to freshen some of the legs up. Dylan Tate's now yellow, will take him off, and Finn Mooney can come on. And Charles Bawley's not having a good game, so we'll bring on Gabriel Tizon on that left-hand side. Egan Riley with the throw on the right, he just throws it straight to the Basel player, however, and Basel striker flicks the ball on, but hardly should collect that. And let's see if we can recycle this play. Egan Riley into Hamilton, and Jamie Hamilton travels forward with the ball, finds Bonilla, and he cuts inside, finds Mooney. Egan Riley in the overlap, he finds him out there. Can he swing the ball in? He plays it back to Velasquez. Can he play the ball in? He plays it across to Castro, but it's intercepted by Frula. And here comes Asala on the left-hand side, inside Hamilton, and shoots, and it's wide of the target. And the ball's come all the way back to Robbie Much. Here can we recycle the play? He finds Jamie Hamilton, and Hamilton plays it forward, but it's intercepted by Frula. And Lambert here cuts in field from the left-hand side, back to Frula. And what's he going to do with the ball? He plays it back to Vidner. Vidmer into Rakic, into Lambert, and they've got a few players forward here, but hardly intercepts it and plays it forward, but only as far as Hubert. And Frula with the ball now. Into Widner again, some nice recycled play here from Basel, but we do win the ball, and Tizon has it. And what's he going to do? He's going to come down the left hand side. He's got Kokavas on the overlap, and Kokavas does overlap indeed. He goes down the line. Can he swing the ball in? He plays it back to Tizon and then to Kastrup, and the ball's intercepted, but Kastrup gets it back, and Kastrup likes scoring great goals, and he scored another one there. That was right in the top corner, and that has got us through. We're now 3-0 up in aggregate with that one away goal, which means that Basel need to score 4 in these last 10 minutes, and that's not going to happen. One touch there and hits it right in that top corner. Cracking finish from the captain, Jens Kastrup. And it was a fierce shot, says the stuff down the bottom. It certainly was. Bonilla with a free kick here. He swings the ball in toward the back post, but it's headed away. And can Velasquez get it? He can. What does he do? Finds Kokavas, finds Hardley, and then plays it forward to Tizon and into Kastrup. Does he want to hit a second? He doesn't. Velasquez takes it, and Mooney, and finds Bonilla and Velasquez, and finds Kastrup again. Some nice passing football between our midfield here, but Mooney does get challenged, and the ball comes away, and Basel left-hand side, Asala with it, and he's missed it wide of the target. That's a problem for Basel. They've had a few chances, but they've not been accurate. We'll take off Kastrup after that great goal, and Andre Woods can come on for the last 5 minutes in the middle of the park. But the time does tick down, and we have won 3-0 on aggregate, 1-0 on the night, and it means that we are in to the Champions League group stage. I tell you, after the way we've been playing in the league this season, with 3 losses in the first 3 games, I did not imagine I would be saying that. And that certainly helps our finances out. We received 13.93 million after qualifying for the Champions League group stage. Oh, that certainly helped the bank balance out. Looking at it there, we've got 14 million in total. It's not actually increased the transfer budget at all. They've just taken it into the club finances, which I'm more than happy with, because we were looking slightly dodgy towards the end of the season, the start of this year, but that's made it look a little bit more healthy. And the Champions League group stage draw is tomorrow, so we'll just advance to there and see what the draw looks like. And here we go, the Champions League group stage draw. You can see the top seeds there being Chelsea, Barcelona, Roma, Benfica, Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, Ajax, and very strangely Bournemouth. And I'm not quite sure why. Did they win the Europa League last year? That's my only guess. We'll go back one season. How did they do in the Europa League? And indeed they did. They beat Monaco 3-0 in the Europa League final. So that's why Bournemouth are a top seed. And I tell you, I know that they won the Europa League last year, so they'll be a decent side. But looking at all the top seeds, I would not mind Bournemouth being my top seed, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. We continue down the list. The second seeds are Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Real Madrid, Juventus, Atletico, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich. Third seeds being Porto, Atalanta, Monaco, Shakhtar Donetsk, Wolfsburg, San Sebastian, who are Sociedad, AZ Alkmaar, Fenerbahce, and then here we go, the 4th seed. We are the lowest seeded team in the whole competition. Midtjylland, Salzburg, Lille, Bayer Leverkusen, Karabag, Levski. Remember last year we did beat Levski in some of our games. CSK Moscow and ourselves. We'll draw through the teams here and see what groups we might like the look of. I tell you what, some of these groups already are looking pretty tasty. Barcelona, Man City, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Liverpool, Chelsea, Real Madrid. I mean, a whole load of tasty groups there indeed. The Barcelona group's got Shakhtar added to it. I tell you, I think I would quite like this group if we can get into that one. Bournemouth, Juventus is a tough game obviously, but Alkmaar is the 3rd seed. Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich get Atlanta. Monaco goes into this group. I would not want that group. That is a group of death, and I can almost certainly tell you that's a group we're going to get, because that's how Football Manager works. If not, we'll get H, because that's a horrible group as well. Porto, Liverpool and Dortmund. So here we go. We'll go an automatic draw for the 4th seed and see where we get. We get that first group, and I'm not going to complain about that. Ajax is our 1st seed, Man United as our 2nd, and Wolfsburg as our 3rd. I mean, I don't think we're going to get out of it, but we've got a chance of some results against those teams. Probably not Man United, but certainly I hope against Ajax we can maybe do something, and possibly against Wolfsburg as well. Scrolling through the rest of the groups, that group of death of Man City, Barcelona, Shakhtar, got Levski added to it. The group I like, we ended up with Bayer Leverkusen being the 4th seed to go into that group. That is a tough group as well there, you see, with Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Atlanta and Moscow. And Salzburg got added to that group of Monaco, Real Madrid and Chelsea. There's some nice groups here, there certainly is. And I think I'm fairly happy with that one. So looking at the draw here for the Champions League and where it falls for groups, games, etc., I think it's only fair to come back for the Ajax game, the first Champions League group stage game there's ever been. First ever Champions League. I think we probably had one in European Cup when it was still called that. But the actual Champions League, we've not had one at Rugby Park. So the first game at Rugby Park in the Champions League group stage is against Ajax there. So we'll come back for that Ajax game and the Falkirk game. Why not those 2 games there? And see how we do in our first attempt at a group stage game at Rugby Park. I'm very, very excited for that, and I hope that you are too. And all it leaves me to say is if you have enjoyed the video, please do leave a like. I very much appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until the next one, we'll see you then.